The voice is too low. Maybe it's my fault. It's not your fault.
And how about my PPT?
Yes, I can see your PPT now. I also can hear your voice is normal now.
Can I start now?
Yes, please.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Good evening, everybody. Tonight, I would like to present about folic acid supplementation for ruminants. And this is my outline. Contents with the first one is introduction. Second one, the source of the folic acid for ruminant. Third, effect of folic acid on rumen microorganism, microbial enzyme activity, and nutrient digestibility. Fourth, effect of folic acid on feed intake, everyday gain, and feed conversion ratio of ruminants. And fifth, effect of folic acid on rumen fermentation characteristic. And the last one is conclusion. Uh, I would like to start with the introduction. Folic acid belongs to the vitamin B group, and the biological active forms are folates. The vitamin folic acid, the chemical name is pteroyl glutamic acid, consists of three parts: a pterin nucleus, para-aminobenzoic acid or PABA, and the last one is glutamic acid. Then we can see at the right hand side, this is the part of the folic acid. So we can see the pteridine, and the second one is PABA, and the last one is the glutamic acid. Native folates vary in three chemical characteristics from folic acid. First, in the level of reduction of the pteridine nucleus, dihydrofolate or tetrahydrofolate. Second, in the character of the one carbon substituent linked to the nitrogen atom N5 and N10, for example, formyl, formimino, methyl, methylene, or methyl residues. Third, in the chain length of the glutamyl residues, which can be linked to the G-carboxyl group of the glutamate via peptide linkage. And this is the folate metabolic pathway related with the formation of the methionine. So the folic acid, it will convert into the DHF or dihydrofolate with the DHF or dihydrofolate reductase. It will become the tetrahydrofolate, and then it will become the 5,10 methylene tetrahydrofolate and L-methylfolate, and then it will go into this cycle to be the methionine with the addition of vitamin B12. Vitamin B9 or folate serve as a cofactor for enzymatic reaction in one carbon transfer for nucleotide synthesis, for example, purine and pyrimidine. After conversion into 5-methyl tetrahydroxyfolate, a physiological active form of the folate. Folate is also involved in the remethylation of the homocysteine to methionine, which is important for cellular methylation and protein synthesis. This reaction also vitamin B12 dependent, as the catalyzing enzyme methionine synthetase needs vitamin B12. And next I move to the source of the folic acid for the ruminants. Folic acid is naturally present in animal products and plant source feedstuff. The primarily source of folic acid for ruminant is the rumen microbial synthesis. As some bacterial species are able to synthesize folates and some other need them. Different amount of folates can be synthesized and used in the rumen depending on the feed composition. A relationship between the proportion of the concentrate in the diet and amount of the folate in the rumen. So this figure I would like to show the source of the folate in some of the feedstuff. Here we can see the kind of the feedstuff. Almost all is from the plant, and the last one is from the animal product or whey powder. And next for this figure, oh, I'm sorry, this table, I would like to show the effect of the different feed. So in here, they provide the concentrate and the forage. The concentrate is in the form of the corn, and the forage, they are using the hay. So I would like to focus on the folic acid. We can see for the initial vitamin concentration is around 7 for the folic acid, but after they giving the corn or the long hay at the rumen, so we can see if the flake and corn has a higher amount of the folic acid comparing with the initial one. And also the long hay and grown hay, it seems very slightly increased amount of the folic acid. So from this table, I would like to show if the corn or concentrate will produce higher concentration of the folic acid comparing the hay. And comparing with the initial folic acid, we can say if the in the rumen there is possibility of production or synthesis of the folic acid by the rumen microbe. And this another treatment is also show uh, the concentration of the folate. So they compare the high forage. The high forage is the high forage is around 60 and the low forage diet is around 45 for the forage. Yeah, in here we also can see if the high forage there is a increasing of the ARS is the apparent ruminal synthesis of the folate. So the intake is 13 and then in the rumen it's become the 63. And about for the low forage diet, the intake is around 14 and then in the rumen it become 91. But if we compare low forage diet with high forage diet, we can see if the apparent ruminal synthesis of the folates is higher at the low forage diet or high concentrate. And next, another author also mentioned about the production or the synthesis of the folates in the rumen. So AS is apparent synthesis of the folates. This is he combined between different level of the forage with the NFC or uh, mm, NFG is non. I'm sorry, I forget. I'm sorry, I will check like that. Sorry, I forget. So NFC is the kind of the carbohydrate. So in here, I would like to show if the different level of the forage it will affect the apparent synthesis of the folates apparent synthesis of folate in the rumen. So we can see in here if we see the forage level, it's in the low concentrate, it 16 and 20 compare with the with the high forage is around 13 and 60. So we can see a different level of the concentrate. It seems a bit higher in the a bit higher of the apparent synthesis of the folate for the higher level of the concentrate rather than the forage. And for the addition of the NFC or the carbohydrate, the source of the carbohydrate, in here we can see if the addition level of the carbohydrate also improve the apparent synthesis of the folates. It seems the microbe which is able to synthesize the folates have more source of energy in the form of the carbohydrate to produce more of folate. And I move to the next is the effect of folic acid on rumen microorganism, microbial enzyme activity, and nutrient digestibility. Here the table is mentioned about the requirement of the some cellulotic bacteria. In here is the Ruminococcus albus and Ruminococcus flavifaciens. So this is the P-aminobenzoic acid is a part of the folic acid. So in the middle part of the folic acid is aminobenzoic or PABA. We can see in here with the addition of, is both of this microorganism is require the PABA or P-aminobenzoic acid. And this figure about the growth response of the Rhamnococcus flavifaciens with different kind of or different form of the folic acid. The first one is tetrahydrofolic acid, and second one is methyl tetrahydrofolic acid, and the last one or the third one is dihydrofolic acid. So we can see in here comparison between these three forms of the folic acid. We can see if the most higher growth rate is for the first one for both of the strain. And then the next research is about the effect of the tetrahydrofolic acid. So previous study is about the different form, and then right now is the level of the tetrahydrofolic acid supplementation for the growth of the Ruminococcus flavifaciens. So we can see in here, without the addition of the tetrahydrofolic acid, the growth of the bacteria is very low. And then if we increase the supplementation of the tetrahydrofolic acid, it seems the growth of the bacteria becomes very high. We see both of these experiment have a very high growth of bacteria comparing without the addition of the tetrahydrofolic acid. So we can see if in here if the Ruminococcus flavifaciens or the cellulitic bacteria is need tetrahydrofolic acid for growth. Next, this one I would like to show about the effect of the folic acid for the microbial enzyme activity and microflora in dairy calf. So this one we can see if the microbial enzyme has we can see from here comparing with this one, we can see with the addition of the folic acid, the number of the microbial enzyme is getting increase. Also for the ruminal microflora, if we compare without addition of folic acid and with the addition of folic acid, almost all of the data show if the addition of folic acid increase the ruminal microflora. And next, I also find another author which is also have experiment about the folic acid. So I would like to focus only for the folic acid supplementation. In here also, uh, I would like to show here with and without addition of the folic acid, we can see uh, there is an increasing of the bacteria, anaerobic fungi, protozoa, and methanogen with the addition of the folic acid. And then some species of the cellulotic bacteria also increase with the addition of the folic acid. And this one also I would like to show another author also show in the effect of the folic acid. So at the microbial enzyme activity and the microflora, so we can see in here with the addition of the folic acid, there is an increasing of the microbial enzyme activity, also the microflora in the rumen. And next, in this figure, I would like to show the effect of the folic acid supplementation on ruminal bacteria population in dairy calf. So in here, there is an increasing of the folic acid. So LFA is the low folic acid, MFA is the medium folic acid, and the last one is high folic acid. So in this figure, there is it showed the increasing of the number of the bacteria, for example, Ruminococcus albus, Ruminococcus flavacesian, Fabrobacter succinogene, Butiri vibrio fibrosolven, Prophotera ruminicola, and the last one is Ruminobacter amylopilus. So with the increasing amount of the folic acid, it shows the increasing number of the bacteria. And this is also, I'm sorry, this is the effect of the folic acid supplementation on the rumen microbial enzyme activity. So in here, I would like to show the effect of the folic acid on the carboxymethyl cellulase, cellobiase, silanase, pectinase, amylase, protease was increased with the increasing level of the folic acid. And this is, I would like to show also another research if here is the effect of the folic acid. So in here, the high forage and high concentrate. So we can see in here for apparent ruminal digestibility, we can see for the high forage, if we compare control with the addition of the folic acid, in here the acid detergent fiber was increased with the increasing of the folic acid. Oh, I'm sorry, with the addition of the folic acid. And then this one, I would like to show the effect of the folic acid supplementation on nutrient digestibility in dairy calf. So in this figure, I would like to show if the increasing level of the folic acid also improve the dry matter, organic matter, crude protein, ether extract, neutral detergent fiber, and acid detergent fiber in the rumen. And then I move to the effect of the folic acid on feed intake, average daily gain, and feed conversion ratio of ruminant. So this is the early experiment in 1991. They show the folic acid is given by the intramuscular injection, and then it show the black one is without the injection of the folic acid, and the white one is with the injection of the folic acid. And then it show the slightly increase of the average daily gain from 0 until 16 week. So we can see there is a slightly increasing of the average daily gain of the heifer. And then in 2020, I would like to show if for the average daily gain for the dairy calf in here, with the addition of the folic acid in the feed. So we can see in here with without and with the addition of folic acid, there is a significant improvement of the average daily gain. And then another author, they would like to show about the experiment with the increasing level of the folic acid. It will improve the dry matter intake and also the final weight, average diligence, and feed conversion ratio of the dairy calf. So with the increasing level of the folic acid, it will increase the dry matter intake, the final body weight, average daily gain, and then it improves the feed conversion ratio. And next is the effect of the folic acid on ruminant fermentation characteristic. And here I would like to show the first one is the figure about the pH. So the black dot is the high concentrate without the folic acid, and then the white dot is high forage. I'm sorry. High concentrate without. I'm sorry. The black dot is high concentrate supplemented with the folic acid, and the white dot is high concentrate without the folic acid, and then the black square is high forage supplemented with the folic acid, and the white square is high forage without folic acid addition. So we can see in here if the addition of folic acid, it seems not improve, but it's very slightly increase the pH of the animal, which is get the high forage supplementation, high forage supplement with the folic acid. But for the animal which is get the high concentrate with the folic acid, it seems reduce the pH. And then for the acetate, there is a slightly improve a bit in early hours, and then it reduce in the next hour. The production is reduced in the next hour for the high concentrate diet with the addition of the folic acid. But for the high concentrate diet with the supplementation of the folic acid, it show in the beginning hours it have a low production, but after around 8 hours the production it seem improve. For the propionate, for the high concentrate, it seem have a higher production of the propionate with the addition of the folic acid in the high concentrate. I'm sorry. In the high concentrate diet. But for the forage, it seems the propionate is getting lower comparing without the addition of the folic acid. And for this figure is about the ratio of the acetate and propionate. For the square is the high forage with the black square is the high forage with the supplementation of the folic acid. It seems the ratio of the acetate and propionate is slightly higher comparing without the addition of the folic acid. And also for the high concentrate diet, it show also a slightly increasing of the ratio of the acetate propionate comparing with the without the addition of folic acid. And then the last figure is the butyrate. It seems for the addition of the high concentrate with the folic acid at the beginning hour, it have a low production of butyrate, and then around 8 hours the production of butyrate is slightly increased comparing without the addition of the folic acid. But for the high forage with the supplementation of the folic acid at the beginning, it's a bit slightly higher, and then it will reduce start from around 5 and 6 hours. And next here about the folic acid supplementation of the different feed. So here is the high concentrate comparing with the high forage. We can see if the isobutyric in the high concentrate is getting lower, and for the high forage diet, we can see in here there is an increasing of the butyric acid, isovaleric acid, and then the valeric acid with the addition of the folic acid. And another experiment, so if the increasing level of the folic acid for the pH, it seems the addition of the folic acid increase the rumen pH and also increase the production of the butyrate, valerate, isobutyrate, isovalerate, and then the ammonia production is reduced. The increase in concentration of valerate, isobutyrate, and isovalerate was due to the enhanced ruminal protease activity and supported the increased bacteria abundance following folic acid supplementation. Since valerate, isobutyrate, and isovalerate are derived from feed protein degradation and are used for cellulitic bacteria growth in the rumen. And then the last one is the conclusion. The high concentrate diets resulted in an increase of folates due to an enhanced microbial activity in the rumen caused by rapidly degradable carbohydrate. And the second conclusion, supplementation of folic acid in the diet improve growth performance and feed utilization of calves, because the research I found is almost in the calf, by stimulating dry matter intake, ruminal microbial growth, and enzyme activity. This is my last presentation. Thank you for listening.
Thank you. Any question, comments, or suggestion?
May I?
Okay, Esma, please.
Yeah.
I think Prof. Eko will say something, Professor Shah.
Oh, okay, okay. Professor Widodo, please.
Thank you very much. It's very interesting presentation for today, but according to me, the coverage is too wide, so it's too many information you deliver to us. So it a bit, what we call it. There are so many information that you want to deliver to us. So I mean, in some point you did not explain in detail. For example, in you present about the effect of folic acid with or without supplementation of, let me check, selenium. Yeah, you mentioned selenium, but you did not mention the role of selenium in that table. I mean, how selenium can interact with folic acid or something like that. And then you
Could you one by one? Could you?
okay. Could you reply?
Nurita, could you show this figure on the selenium and the boric? Yes.
Yes, this one.
This one. This one, Professor.
Yes, he said yes.
I'm sorry, because I would like to show is more focus on the addition of the folic acid, so I didn't explain about the sodium selenite. So from this journal, the author would like to not explain, they would like to show, or they would like to know about the addition of the folic acid and the selenium. So the folic acid actually is for the growth of the bacteria, but the addition of the selenite or the selenium is actually the function is for the build up the cell wall of the rumen bacteria. So if the bacteria able to build up the cell wall, and then it will, how to say, it will promote the growth, and the addition of the folic acid will enhance the growth. I'm sorry, that is I get from the paper.
Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. The next one.
The next one, I would like to just give a suggestion about the result on delegate or feed conversion. The result of addition of
For the feed conversion.
yeah.
Feed conversion.
It's this one.
Yes.
No, the crab.
This one?
No, before this.
Before this one?
Yeah, this one. If we look at this result, yeah, it is more interesting to discuss about the duration of giving folic acid, then the difference between addition and without addition of folic acid, according to me, because as you see that from 0 to 5 weeks, yeah, both of them increasing significantly when the duration is extend to 5 to 10 weeks of giving folic acid injection. Okay, of course, the result is different between with and without injection, but if you injected them in different duration, it also will have an effect on that. But even you did not give injection of folic acid because there's zero concentration, okay, it still increase. Yeah, that is interesting. Why this increase when the duration of what if you inject nothing to the what heifer, yeah, to the heifer, yeah. If you add the folic acid, that's okay. You get an increase of telecin, but in the black one, you did not give any injection. I mean, maybe just water, okay, but you still increase significantly as compared to 0 to 5 weeks of injection. You explain that one.
I'm sorry, Professor. I didn't get the point. Would you please?
Yeah, the the black one indicated that
Yes.
you inject nothing, and that
Yes.
zero, okay.
Yes.
But the white one indicate that you inject 40 milligram of folic acid.
Yes.
Yeah, if the duration of injection between 0 to 5 weeks, yeah, you get an increase, yeah, an increase in the telecin, okay.
Yes.
But even if you inject nothing, but the duration of injection is 5 to 10 weeks,
Yes.
the average telecin is increasing. It is so in the middle graph, yeah, you see.
Yes. Yes.
And I don't know why this happened. Okay. You, you just extend the length of duration of injection for nothing, but you can get more telecin. I don't know. I did not read the paper. You read the paper. Maybe there is a kind of explanation about that.
Nurita, can you understand the question?
It means there is a gap between the 0 to 5 and the 5 to 10 weeks.
Yeah.
Here is like the gap is very high in
Yeah.
here.
Yes. What is the reason for that?
Can I say if in this week there is a kind of the very significant growth of the muscle of the animal. So at these 5 and 10 weeks is like the promotes of the muscle of the growth
Well,
growth
well, if you inject something, for example, folic acid, there should be a changing in the pH, in the growth of different microbes or microflora in the rumen, and then as a result, they get an increase in delivered gain. Okay, this from the white graph, but for the black one, why? Because I think there should be no changing in the pH and no changing in microflora composition, but they grow better than that. I don't know, but it should be mentioned in the paper. I don't know. Maybe Prof. Hsia also have experience about that. I don't really know about that.
I think she explained a little bit. That is the normal growth. This is a normal growth. The black one is normal growth, and
Okay.
yes, and then the white one is extra of folic acid.
Oh, okay, okay.
Okay,
So
okay. So
that should be with the time the animal growth, okay? The
yes.
animal growth, but it's grow better when we injection of intramuscular folic acid is done. Okay, okay,
Mm-hmm.
okay.
Okay. So maybe the injection is not so significant to increase, but here is normal growth. Normal growth still is they have this kind of growth.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Any other question, comments, suggestion? Me, are you still there? Me?
Yeah, Professor.
Do you have any question?
Can you hear me?
Pardon?
Okay, thank you, Nurita, for the information. Yeah, that's well known to be the microbial activity and the ruminant population. They are influenced by the level of concentrate and the type of feed. So I saw in the page 22. Like, could you please go to page 22? Yes, especially on the ordinal flow, the ADF content in folic group low they had in folic group for high concentrate of diet they have higher than the control, but in HF group may be high for it, right? High for it, they have lower than the control group. Could you a little bit explain about this, please?
Excuse me, which one?
Which for the duodenal flow in ADF content,
Yes.
like yes, for the treatment HF treatment with folic acid, they have lower of ADF than the control group, and they have significant difference on 0.018. Could you see that?
Yes.
Yes. I mean, could you a little bit explain that why they have lower concentration of ADF in that group?
Can you catch her question?
Yeah, I can catch her question
Okay,
is
okay.
about the Can I answer if because the apparent ruminal digestibility in the rumen of the IDF is increased with the addition of FOL, so it has kind of the negative result for the duodenal flow, which is mean the IDF is absorbed because the digestibility is increased and it will absorb more in the duodenal flow, and then it will reduce the number of the IDF in the in the duodenal.
Okay. Maybe it's gonna be like that. Thank you. Oh, I have one question about the minimum and the maximum of the folic acid to used for the luminance, like for daily intake limit?
Thank you for the question, but I'm sorry I didn't check it. So maybe later I have to check it again.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
So it's okay now? Sorry.
It's okay.
Okay. So, Neil, do you have any question, comments, suggestion?
Yes, Professor, thank you. Thank you, Nurita, for your presentation. So, could you move to slide 23? Yes, in here, all of the nutrient digestibility is have the significance, right? So I would like to know why the folic acid can increase the nutrient digestibility. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for the question. The addition of the folic acid will increase the nutrient digestibility because, as we know, in ruminant, especially in ruminant, the nutrient digestibility is helped by the rumen bacteria. Then, with the with the supplementation of the folic acid, then it will increase or promote the growth of the ruminal bacteria. Then the ruminal bacteria will digest more of the nutrient. So the increasing of the rumen bacteria will increase the nutrient digestibility.
What is the definition of the curve here?
Curve here is I forget, Professor. I already
Because if they are lower than certain age, and the lumen still not well developed.
yes. I have to check again, Professor.
Okay.
Actually, I
Okay.
already I forget. Sorry.
Susu?
Thank you for the presentation. My question is about why we provide the folic acid will increase the population of the bacteria.
From my previous explanation, I saw some of the table. So if for the how to say, actually folic acid is required for the growth of bacteria. So it important for the growth of the bacteria even without the supplementation of the folic acid, because the kind another bacteria able to produce the folic acid, and then another bacteria, for example the cellulotic bacteria, is really needed for the source of the folic acid. So the folic acid is very important for the growth of the rumen bacteria, especially for the cellulotic bacteria.
Can I ask a very difficult question? Why? Why? Because Susu is also like
They
me is very
they
curiosity.
mention about the one carbon of the folic acid is needed to build up the kind of the if I'm not wrong is the cell of the bacteria. They mention about the one carbon from the folic acid is needed for the the how to say uh, the
Okay.
sorry.
Can you check again about
Okay.
the folic acid? What is the function of the folic acid in the monogastric animal?
Oh, okay, Professor.
Okay, so in that case, you can know more clearly about why the folic acid can have what kind of function for the bacteria too. Okay, try.
Okay. Thank you, Professor.
No. S1.
Thank you, Professor. The first question already asked by Susu. Then, can we see the slide number 6, maybe? It is about the table that mentioned about the. I think before this, one slide before this.
One.
Oh, this table mentioned about the source of the folic acid in the diet.
Source.
Yes.
One.
Yes, this one. And so in the, maybe I was wrong, try to understand this table. In the, if we look at this table, seems like the range of the folate content from the hay seems like the highest rather than from the grain and then and in the conclusion we say that the effectively of the folate it will be more benefit it's come from the if we provide it in the form of the concentrate or grain. So in this case, why this kind has high folate content but still not have a good effect comparing with the grain, particularly the hay lucerne. How to say? Yes.
Thank you for the question. So this is the content of the folic acid in the hay comparing with the grain. We can see if here is higher comparing with another grain, but I would like to mention is actually the rumen able to synthesize of the vitamin B9 or folate. So even in the hay is quite high content of the folate, but in the rumen, the bacteria has the ability to synthesize the vitamin B. To produce the vitamin B9 or folate, the bacteria is need the carbohydrate, which is very easily to be used for the bacteria is from the concentrate. So because of that, if we give more concentrate, the supply of the carbohydrate will be enough for the bacteria to synthesize the vitamin B9 or folate.
Okay. Thank you.
But the S1's question is say why the hay have a higher folate? It's not say it's a bacteria. Is that right? So because why the lucerne hay have such higher folic acid? But the of course here the grass hay is also very low. But why the lucerne hay is very high in the folic acid? Maybe we need to check this part.
Yeah, I will check. Yes, Professor. Thank you.
Yeah. Professor, what must? When must?
Yes, I'm here. I thought you will ask Chet first.
Okay.
Okay, it's okay. Chet, do you want to ask before me or?
or I'm first?
I think female first.
Oh, okay, lady first, right? Okay, thank you, Nurita. Can you go to slide 29, please? Yes. From this figure, can you explain more to us about why when with and without folic acid, they have a different results? For example, for propionate concentration. Thank you.
So about the propionate, with the addition of the folic acid in a high concentrated diet, it will improve the or increase the concentration of the propionate comparing with the without the addition of the folic acid. Can I say, as I mentioned before, if there is a increasing number of the bacteria with the increasing of the folic acid, and then the bacteria will produce more of the propionate in the high concentrate diet. But for the addition of the folic acid with and without the addition, the addition of folic acid in the high forage, it seems like the lower concentration of the. I'm sorry, I'm a bit confused.
Can I say like this way? Higher concentrate, if you do not have folic acid, and then this kind of bacteria cannot working well, so they have lower propionic acid. But anyway, they will have higher propionic acid because they have higher concentrate. So the top two line is higher, still higher than the lower concentrated one. But in the higher folic acid, in the higher roughage one, higher roughage foliage one, you will see actually is no big difference, a little bit difference, but it's no big difference. So they have no anything influence on the foliage, because anyway, foliage cannot produce more folic propionic acids. Can I say like this way? That Professor?
Yes. That mean when we supplement folic acid in the foliage, we have to increase the concentration, right?
Yes. But in this case, it's because some people, they do not increase the concentrate. So say increase the folic acid is no use. But if you have a higher concentrate, you increase folic acid is useful.
So if I'm not provide concentrate to my animal, to ruminant animal, I just provide the foliage with the folic, folic acid. So I have to increase the level of the folic acid to them, right?
In the concentration situation, yes, but not in the folic roughage situation. Not in the forage situation. This is a good question because you know the folic acid is not big influence on the forage, rather influence big on the concentration. Nurita, did you notice about this? Okay, please say something, but because
Yes, Professor, I'm sorry.
okay. Mhm. Can you satisfy this kind of very good question, you know, because it just make things more clearly. Say folic acid, if you add folic acid, you need to have a higher concentration, otherwise it's useless. Chat, do you have Professor? Do you still have a question, Professor Watamas?
Yes, I still have one more, but Chet, you can go first.
Chat first.
Thank you, both of you. I think this question already being asked. Previously, you mentioned that folic acid itself doesn't help for the growth. Rather, it helps to increase the microbial population, right? So my question is like which kind of bacteria? Is there any specific bacteria or all kind of bacteria can be growth in the like folic acid situation?
Here they mention more in the. Oh, sorry. Here they mention more for the cellulotic bacteria is need the folic acid to grow. So they mention more if the cellulotic bacteria is needed the folic acid more rather than another kind of the bacteria. Did I answer your question?
Yes. And my another question is after you review the lots of paper, right, in the recent years, so is there need to increase the NRC recommendation of folic acid, or it's okay with the NRC standard for the folic acid recommendation? Do you get what I mean?
Yes.
Hmm?
Actually, for now, my understanding, the addition of the folic acid is more have effect for the calf, as Professor mentioned before, because the calf is the rumen is not really developed well for the the rumen is not developed well, but in the adult animal, it seems like they able to produce or synthesize to fulfill the requirement. But I think I have to check again.
Thank you.
Page 20, you know, you mentioned about this kind of bacteria. You said it's a serological bacteria will be influenced by the folic acid. Is that right?
Yes, Professor. Yes, Professor.
Yes. Sorry about the fire creek here, nearby here is very noise. But if theoretical is influenced by the folic acid, and then can we change? Can we move to the figure? Professor Watermas asked that figure. Yes, this one. And if the theoretical bacteria influenced by the folic acid, and then our explanation here is wrong. We said before, say, in the concentration situation, the folic acid play more important. But here, if you have a concentration and the influenced by the folic more than the roughage, then how to explain this?
Excuse me, Professor. I would like to show. Professor. Actually, for I think in here also, so if the propionate is also, I'm sorry, in another, in another treatment also, so if the propionate was increased and maybe I have to check again, Professor. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Please explain to us next time, because
Yes,
this is
Professor.
a interesting part. Okay, if we do not make clear this part, so maybe we'll influence on experiment. So we better to understand more clearly this. 伟俊有没有问题？
Thanks for your presentation, and I was wondering about if I give the lumina animal the folate, it will let the lumina microcreature grow, right?
Yes.
And if I add the folate to them, will it lead to will it make the luminous microcreature unbalanced? Because I see the table the folate laid like fungi, bacteria, or something like that. All the microcreature grow. I just want to ask, will it lead to like make the microcreature in lumen unbalanced?
Excuse me, do you mean like this one?
Yeah.
With the addition of the folic acid will increase? I think no. The folic acid will not have effect in, or it will not, how to say, it will not have effect of the balance of the bacteria in the rumen, because its function is promote almost all of the kind of the microbes, not only the bacteria, also the fungi, protozoa, and also the methanogen.
Okay. And the other question is, if I want to provide the folic to luminate more, should I provide it in the feed or just inject the injection? Which one would be better?
This is based on my review, because there are more, how to say, there are more paper is mentioning about the supplementation of the folic acid in the feed rather than with the injection. So in my opinion, probably the addition of the folic acid in the feed is better rather than the injection
Okay.
for the
Thanks.
ruminant,
Okay. Thanks.
because
Thank
it
you.
need for the rumen bacteria.
Okay. Thank you.
Can I follow the first question of Wei Jun? That is, you have to be very careful to answer the balance problem, because until now, very few research on the bacteria's requirement of this kind of amino acid. You can say they will increase all the bacteria growth, but how about relate with other vitamin B groups? I think we still don't quite understand. So this is a big area. Even you graduate from here, you still need to do more research in this area. Is that okay?
Yes, Professor.
That's my thinking, because we know too little about this. I think everyone know too little about this part. Okay.
Yes.
寻真，你要不要问一些问题？你用中文问都可以，我可以帮你。
要我抓关键字，就是想说，是加了叶酸之后，就可以让它的肠胃的消化跟吸收效率变好吗？我不知道我没有抓错重点。
OK，
谢谢。
Nurita, can I answer to her from myself? Okay.
Oh yes, Professor.
OK， 他的意思是不是说加了叶酸以后它的什么都好，是说它加了叶酸以后会改善瘤胃里面的细菌。那改善瘤胃里面的细菌，到目前为止他还没有能够很清楚的抓出来为什么。但是它改善瘤胃里面的细菌以后，它就可以使得再加上精料的时候，它的效果特别好。再加上粗料的时候 ，forage 就是属于粗料，再加上粗料的时候效果没有那么好，所以有可能是加精料的时候那种菌对那个菌有特别大的帮助。但是呢，刚才我又问了一个问题，就是说在这种情况之下，看起来纤维素的细菌他说有帮助，那这个就会矛盾，所以说在这里面还是呈现一个矛盾的现象。你问这个问题很好，谢谢，加油，有进步。
谢谢老师。
没有，谢谢。Any other question, comment, suggestion from anyone?
Yes, Nurita. Actually, I have one more question on slide 21. Yes. Is there any function related with enzymes when we supplement folic acid too?
I'm sorry, Professor. I think so. The question is the correlation or the relation between the folic acid and this kind of enzyme, right?
Yes, I try to understand from your presentation. You mentioned they have main like two factor when we provide concentrate and foliage, right? And also together with microbial population. And from this slide, my question is there any question? Is there any relation between folic acid when we supplement folic acid that they have increased enzyme or reduced enzyme?
From this table, with the increasing of the folic acid will increase the enzyme activity because, as I mentioned before, the population of the bacteria will increase, then the microbial enzyme also increase. Is it? Or maybe I have a wrong understanding about the question?
No, you didn't misunderstanding, but your answer is not the quite good one. Sorry about that.
I have to learn more, Professor.
No, don't say that. You can see from your this table, if you increase folic acid, and then you will increase cyanide. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, so this is increase roughages digestibility, and you also increase amylase. Amylase increases far more than cyanide, so that is mean you increase concentrate. So this is related with Professor Watamas' question. And then you will find they also increase quite a lot on the protease. Okay, so this is you can answer from this three part, and then you will find the answer maybe can answer the question we asked the concentration and the forage. Can you understand what I mean?
Yes.
Now? Yes.
So relate with the figure about the propionate. Is that right, Professor?
Yes, this is related with that kind of things. Okay?
Yes.
Okay. Any other question? Professor, what we do you still have any question, comments?
Yes, it's a very interesting topic today, but as in the beginning I mentioned is the coverage is too wide, so
okay.
Sometimes we need to limit the the coverage so that we can have more deeper understanding on what the result telling us about.
Okay.
That's my comment. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Professor, if you have any student want to attend, please ask them to come to join us.
Yes, I rarely use lines, Professor. So that's why sometimes I miss the seminar. But
okay.
If Dr. Lee just remind me, and at the day the webinar is held, is sometimes I need longer time to remind my student or something like that. So
okay,
please give me what do you call it? Google, what do you call it? The link for attending the seminar, maybe 1 day or 2 days before the seminar.
Okay. Every week,
yeah.
Every Tuesday evening. we have this kind of seminar.
But
thank you for you.
Our student is still in holiday today. So
okay.
But okay.
Okay.
Anyway, I still have the WhatsApp group from the previous lecture, so I can still distribute the link to them.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. In the future, this link is the same. The link is almost as every time is the same. Okay. So maybe you can at the same times, and so you link
Okay, I can
this
share
one.
that.
Okay.
Yeah.
We still will inform you.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I'm curious why you know Miss Lee became Dr. Lee.
He always remind me about the seminar, as well as when you did not reply the email from the committee of the second Ijazah, I also contact him to remind you.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Oh, she became famous now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
Okay.
I just imagine that you were maybe very busy, and then I just easier for me to contact through him.
Yes, right.
Remind you.
Okay. Thank you for your come, and welcome student to come.
Yeah.
So, everyone is okay now.
Yeah.
Okay. So we will say goodbye to everyone now. Good night.
Bye bye.
Good night. Good night.
Good night. Thank you.
Good night. Thank you อาจารย์แน่นสวัสดีเจ้า
สวัสดีเจ้า
พี่มี่สวัสดีค่ะ
ค่ะบ๊ายบายค่ะ
你说什么？我听不懂。
He said just greeting.
Okay. Bye bye.
Oh.
Bye bye.
Okay, see you
Everyone.
next week. Bye bye.
Bye bye. See you next week. Bye bye. 伟俊加油。OK。
怎么了？为什么突然讲我？
因为画面上只剩下你和我啊，不然的话怎么办？别人都跑光了啊。
好像有道理哦。这样讲特别有道理。好，
好，
教授晚安。
拜拜，晚安。